Alright guys, so today I'm going to give you some tips for decorating your home on a budget. So stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Nikki and I want to welcome you here to Carry Grace. Okay, so we are going to be talking about decorating your home on a budget. Now this is something that I have basically done my whole entire adult life. Decorating is something that I really enjoy doing. I really enjoy having our home feel beautiful and put together. It helps me feel calm. I like for things to be put away. I don't have to have things extravagant. I don't have to have expensive things, but I do think that if you are patient and learn some tricks, that you really can have great style in your home without spending tons of money. So today I'm basically just going to give you my personal tips, things that I do myself in our home. Now just to give you a little bit of a recap, we lived in a home for 9 years. It's the home that I started out my YouTube channel in. We were there for 9 years. We did a lot of things to that house over the years. Then we moved to Florida. We were in a house for just under a year and then we moved again. So I'm gonna give you my tips, and as I'm talking, I'm gonna be popping pictures and little videos and things like that so that you can see examples of what I have done here in our current home. There's two things though that I wanna talk about first. The first thing is that you've got to be patient. Being patient will go a long way. We have lived in this home, let's see, it is November. We have been here since end of March, beginning of April, and I'm kind of just now feeling like things are settled and how I want them. Now, is everything perfectly decorated? Absolutely not. Will things continue to get tweaked? I am sure that they will. But I finally, for the first time, feel like things are pretty much how I want them. And so the first tip is to be patient. Things are not gonna come together overnight unless you have a huge budget. If you don't have a huge budget, be patient and take your time. Another huge tip, and one of my favorite tips, is to really look around your house, shop your home. Do you have furniture that might serve you better in another room? Do you have a lamp or a piece of artwork that works really well where it is, but maybe it would work better somewhere else and then you could do something else in the other room? So definitely shop your house. Now an example of this is actually going to incorporate a few things. Shopping your house, but also painting furniture. So here is an example of a piece of furniture that we had. I was actually planning to just get rid of it. I felt like it didn't fit the style of this house. It was just an extra piece of furniture. I didn't need it anywhere. It has been a coffee bar. We have used it as a TV stand. We've used it as a bookshelf. And then I was getting ready to get rid of it, and I realized that I didn't really like the scale of the piece of furniture that I had in my foyer. And I realized, hey, if I did some things to this piece of furniture, I could use this in my foyer and the scale would be better. I could paint it and it would work. So look around your house. Do you have something that's not working that you could use somewhere else? A huge tip of mine is to paint furniture. You can paint furniture that you already have. You can find pieces on Facebook Marketplace for super cheap, garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, things like that. Look for furniture that has really good bones and paint that sucker. If it's not the right color, paint it. Invest in some supplies. I like to keep kind of some basic paint supplies on hand. I like to have things like gold, black, white spray paint. I like to have chalk paint in some neutral colors. I like to have various acrylic paints and paintbrushes and things like that. And I also try to make sure that I purchase these on sale. Now, all of these you can't find on sale. I have a hard time finding chalk paint and things like that on sale in the particular brand that I like, but there's a lot of things that they do have at Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and you can use coupons and sales and things like that. So make sure that if you see a piece and maybe it's not exactly what you want, but it's the right scale, it's the right shape, it's the right size, you just don't like the color, paint that thing. Make it something totally different so that it will work in your house and it will save you a ton of money. While we're talking about painting furniture, let's talk about artwork. Now, one thing that I have learned is artwork, especially large artwork, can be very expensive. Now, this home has tall ceilings in some places, and the way the room is laid out, I felt like it really needed large scale artwork to not feel cluttered. And when I started looking for the pieces like in the sizes that I wanted, I was having a really hard time finding anything that I wanted to spend money on. So sometimes you have to think outside of the box. I was in Bed Bath & Beyond, and they had these huge pieces of artwork. I don't remember the dimensions, but they're huge. They're over 4 feet wide, but they were like a real like farmhouse kind of scene. They were not something that was going to work in my house. I didn't like the frame, didn't like the art, but the scale was right. It was large. These things were on clearance. One of them, the frame was a little bit messed up. My husband was able to fix it, and we only paid $20 for these pieces of art. Now, for something this large, that is a steal. So I was able to take paint and just paint something on there. I like to stick to things that are kind of more abstract, just because I am not an artist and I feel like that's a little easier to do. But take advantage, look for art that is on clearance and paint it and make it something different. A good place to find things like that are TJ Maxx. I've got an example of one here in my bedroom. I bought this canvas. I don't necessarily like the artwork on it. I haven't painted it yet because I don't know exactly what I want to do. So I am being patient, which is my number one tip. Be patient. But I just hung it on the wall. It's not like offensive or anything. It doesn't look terrible, but I know it's not exactly what I want, but I know that when the mood strikes and when I find the inspiration that's the right thing, I've got paint supplies on hand, and so I will be able to just paint this and it won't be a big deal. So look for art pieces that are nice and large, or maybe you need small artwork. Look for small artwork, whatever it is that you need. Look at places like Ross and TJ Maxx. Look in the clearance section. A lot of times they will have these big pieces that are ugly, and you can transform them and make them into something that will work in your house. Now, along that same line, something else that I want to throw out there is to think about purchasing nice picture mats at places like Hobby Lobby and Michael's. Sometimes you could take an inexpensive frame. Here's an example of one right here. Take an inexpensive frame, take something that you have painted, or maybe a photograph. You can get prints, photo prints made very inexpensively at places like CVS and Walgreens. They run specials all the time. But if you get a nice pretty mat, it will totally elevate that piece of artwork and make it look like it's a lot more expensive than it really is. So look for mats. They come in lots of different colors. You can get them in cream, white, black, to totally change your artwork and make it more expensive. The other thing that you can do is you can paint picture frames. You can paint picture frames with paint. You can use spray paint. You can use a paint and a paintbrush. You can use a rub and buff. I didn't have any of that to show you, but I used all of these gold frames that I've got. They are covered in rub and buff. Now, a tip that I'm going to give you to make your rub and buff last longer is to spray paint that frame in gold, or use an acrylic gold paint on there, something that's a lot less expensive than rub and buff if you've got a huge piece, and you can do that and it will make that rub and buff go further. So there's another tip. Find a way to make your really nice supplies last a little longer. All right, so another thing that I've kind of already talked about is purchasing nice furniture. Look for nice furniture that has good bones on Facebook Marketplace and change it. Now, sometimes all you have to do is paint, but sometimes, like I needed a pair of bar stools for our bar. When we moved into this house, the island is a counter height, not a bar height. I needed 4 stools, and I did not want to spend a lot of money on stools. So I got on Facebook Marketplace. I was patient. I was very patient, and I kind of had a really good idea of what I wanted, but I wasn't like so specific that I wasn't open-minded. I knew that I really just wanted something with really good bones. I wanted something that if I had to paint it, fine. If I had to reupholster it, fine. I wanted it to be structurally sound. I wanted them to be something that would hold up, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on them. So when I found these bar stools, they were in pretty decent shape. Now, they weren't perfect. I I actually like the fabric on them, but it just ended up clashing with some things that we had in here. So I knew that that was okay because I knew that I could recover them. The paint was also not in super great shape, but again, a paint and some paintbrush, and that's not a big deal. So sometimes you can take something when you find a really good deal. I think I paid $50 for all 4 bar stools. These would have cost me a couple $100s a piece if I had tried to purchase these new. These are old. They are in great shape. They are super sturdy. I slapped some paint on them. I recovered the chairs. I found some fabric that was on sale, recovered them with a staple gun, and now I've got bar stools that look beautiful and are super functional in our house. And I did it without breaking the bank. All right, so let's talk about curtains. When we moved into this house had very pretty blue patterned curtains. Now, I am a blue fan. I like navy blue. I like all shades of blue. And I really thought I liked these, but I realized that because they were a dark blue, they were really making the house feel a lot darker than the house actually is. It just kind of was feeling drab. So something that you can do that is budget friendly and totally change the look of your house is you can change out curtains. If you've got dark curtains, think about changing them out for something that is light and a little more airy. They don't have to be sheer, they don't have to be see-through. They can still be nice curtains, but if you pick a lighter color and something that maybe has a pattern but is kind of subtle, it will totally change the room. Check Amazon. I found these curtains on Amazon and they were a fraction of the price compared to any of the other places that I like to look for curtains. Pottery Barn has beautiful curtains. Ballard Designs has beautiful curtains. Even Target has really pretty curtains. But I found that changing out the curtains for a lighter color, a lighter pattern, and finding them on Amazon saved a ton of money. So always check Amazon. Amazon is not always the best place to find things, but sometimes it is. So make sure that you're checking Amazon for things like that. Okay, so another tip that I have for you is pillow covers. Pillow covers can totally change a room. You can see right here, I went for some loud, brightly colored pillows. I thought that is what this room needed. It ended up being totally wrong. I liked it for just a little bit, but they were not right. But the good thing about pillow covers is you can change them out very inexpensively and they don't take a lot of room to store. I don't want to have different pillows, actual pillows that I have to store for each season. I don't want to have to change out my pillows every time I decide that I want to change up the look just a little bit. Check Amazon. They have great prices on pillow covers. You can put pillow covers on pillows that you already have. You can get inserts. You can get inserts that are down. You can get inserts that are just polyfilled. You can get all kinds of different inserts, whatever kind of inserts you like, whatever fits your budget, and then get pillow covers. You can see that you can make a huge difference by just changing pillow covers. These pillow covers, you can see they totally changed the room. When I changed the color palette, it just really made a difference in here. And then when it's time for Christmas, I can put Christmas pillow covers. So you're gonna save yourself a lot of money if you just change out pillow covers and not actual pillows. All right, so another thing that I wanna talk about is Target clearance. Now, Target has beautiful home decor. It's one of my favorite places to actually shop for home decor. And I specifically shop their clearance. And the nice thing about finding things at Target clearance is the items are brand new. These are not thrifted. They have not been in somebody else's home, so they're gonna be nice and clean. All right, so the last thing I wanna talk about is finding dupes. I like to look through the Pottery Barn and Ballard Designs catalogs every season just for inspiration. Their things are beautiful, they're high quality, but they are expensive and they are not typically in my budget. But sometimes I will find something in there that is exactly what I want. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna find this that is super similar, gonna give me the same look, the same feel, but I am not gonna spend this much on it. And I have found that a lot of times you can find dupes for expensive things. Now, example of that is this duvet cover at Pottery Barn. I really like the look of this. I just, you know, I like blue and white. Our room now, because it has carpet, I don't have a rug in there, and while I generally prefer for like our bedding and everything to be just plain and not have a lot of pattern, because the walls are dark and I've got plain carpet in there, I felt like I needed a little bit of pattern. And when I saw this, I just felt like it would be the right thing for the room to give it the kind of feel that I wanted. So I started looking, and like I said, I refuse to spend Pottery Barn prices, but I found a dupe at Target, and the price was seriously a fraction. It was not nearly as expensive, and I was able to get the duvet cover and the shams for like way less. And so sometimes if you've got something that you really like, be patient. I keep saying be patient, but it's really my #1 tip. Be patient and look around till you find something that is a good dupe for it in your price range, and then you can feel really good about getting it because you know that it's something that you really like and you really like the style of it, and you know you have found it for a great deal. All right guys, I hope that you have found these tips helpful. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I've kind of done these things here in my own home. I definitely believe in shopping around. I believe in being patient. I believe in taking things and repainting them, repurposing them, recovering them, making them work for you so that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to decorate your home and make it feel beautiful for you and your family. All right guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave me a tip below. If you have got a tip that you use for decorating your home on a budget and it's something that I haven't mentioned, leave it below. That way we can all read through the comments and get tips from each other. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to my channel and not already subscribed, please consider subscribing down below, and I will see you guys soon.